Book 13 of 2019 was The 5 People You Meet in Heaven by Mitch Albom. I think that's how you say his name. I really enjoyed this book, mostly because it only took me a day to read it, not even a full day, like just a few hours, because look, the text is massive and the margins are really big. Like, please more authors do this, because it just makes you read your book quicker, and so you're not having to like pick it up and put it down. If I show you another one that I'm reading, look how tiny that text is, and look at the margins. Like, I keep putting this one down because I'm like, oh, but yeah, big text, big margins, love it. This was just really nice. Like, it was this, I don't want to spoil it, like I always do this, I do reviews and I'm like, I want to say stuff and I can't because I want to ruin it, but basically it's about this guy Eddie, and Eddie dies and he goes to heaven, and it's about meeting 5 different people that explain kind of bits of your life to you and like lessons about life as it's doing it. I really liked that each person had their own heaven, so like it was like a nice feeling to think that when you die and go to heaven, if that happens, that you are in the place that's unique to you, that you find heaven, because obviously everyone's version of heaven is different. Like for me, heaven is like on my own, like in a cabin like this one with the sea just over there, and hearing the waves. Like, this is heaven to me. So I would love to be in heaven like this. But this wouldn't be anybody else's heaven who likes to socialise and whatever. But anyway, so I thought that was nice. And like the first person he meets, like he kind of cross paths with this person and doesn't really know this person, but it's because of what happened with Eddie that this person ended up dying and being in heaven. And it was kind of really interesting to think that a little act that you do can have such a far-reaching consequence for somebody else that you're not aware of, that we're all interconnected and intertwined, and that, you know, people think like, why did that person have to die? And there'll be some explanation and some reason for it that you just don't know, because we're all interconnected. And I thought that that was really interesting, how it looks to us like there's no cause and effect for things, but there actually probably is. Because, you know, the world, I reckon, is based on mathematical kind of like formulas and functions and stuff, so it makes sense that we would be connecting a web like that. You know, a little nudge of a spider's web on one bit of it makes the whole web kind of, you know, vibrate, that kind of thing. The butterfly can flap its wings and cause, what is it, a tornado on the other side of the world. You can kind of see like how that happens. You know, and the fact that we're interconnected with people through, what, 7 degrees of separation. I reckon it's even less than that now. Now we've got more globalisation of the world. Like, it probably is likely that you've crossed paths with someone and you've had a negative impact on their lives, or even a positive impact on their lives, if you want to think of it in a good way. And so I find that really interesting. There's a little bit about as well how Eddie got shot when he was in the army. There was a reason behind why he got shot. But because he got shot, although it saved his life at the time, his whole life changed because of how he viewed that, and because he didn't really understand why it had happened and the benefits of it happening, he kind of viewed it as a negative thing. And it kind of made me think of how when some things happen in our life, we sometimes attribute negative consequences to them, and think that that's such a negative thing on our lives because that happened. Like, I don't know, maybe we've had like a traumatic experience or something and we think like that's had a negative impact on our lives. But if we actually viewed it from the other point of view, which was actually, it was beneficial for us to go through that and for that to happen to us, and then actually we could turn our lives around now, then we could end up in a better place. But because Eddie didn't recognise that, he ended up just stuck where he was and he didn't do anything with it. So it was interesting to actually view it like that. So he meets different people that have been in his life, people as well. So he met someone who was the reason for where he worked, and it was interesting that where we find ourselves in life, there's been hundreds of thousands of people before us, millions, trillions of people before us, that their choices have meant that we've ended up where we are. You know, when I think about it, where I work, the decision to build that building, the decision to create that institution as an educational institution, like the decision to have education, like, has meant that I've got to the point where I'm now a teacher. It's interesting, isn't it, how all our choices are built on the choices of people that have come before us, and that where we find ourselves is often because of other people, you know, our parents and stuff like that, how they've brought us up, and the choices that we make are based on what choices they would make, and how you sometimes need to break away from that to kind of, you know, go on your own path. I'm trying to think who the people were that he met. There was another one. Oh yeah, that links into the other point. So yeah, it was really, really good, and it was just nice. You know, when you read a book and it's just nice, and it was just like, yeah, it was comforting to read and stuff. It was a good book for that. So I've read another one of Mitch Albom's, which was The Timekeeper or something like that. It was a similar kind of thing. It's not like groundbreaking in terms of like literary prowess or anything like that, but it's just a nice book. It's got a nice story, and it does teach you a few lessons about life as you're kind of going through it. So for that reason I would recommend it as just a kind of entertaining book to structure your time with. So yeah, I'd read that.